Hey guys, before today's video gets started, I want to tell you about our giveaway. April 1st through April 30th, 2023, we're giving away this 2,000 horsepower capable HED LS engine. It's 387 cubic inches. It's got an aftermarket LSR aluminum 6-bolt block, mass 255 LS3 heads, and it's packed with all kinds of goodies and topped with a shear fab intercooler intake and a Icon throttle body and a set of billet motion Raceworks valve covers and a bunch of other goodies. You also get 2 precision turbos. To win, all you have to do is spend $5 at Motion Raceworks. There's no maximum amount of entries. For full rules and details, check out the link in the description below, but definitely head over to Motion Raceworks or tbmbrakes.com and get yourself some parts and apparel. Welcome back to the Motion Raceworks YouTube channel. Today, we are bringing back a project that we gave you a little bit of teaser about. We picked this up on Rocky Mountain Race Week 2 last year, and it's this old work truck looking OBS. I know, a work truck, I think back in the day was only white, or only came in white. But we found this along the road on Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0 down in Oklahoma. And this thing was such a clean vehicle underneath. And we thought, we loved building El Toro. We need to build something really cool like El Toro again. Something that really embodies Americana. We can put all the guys at Motion Raceworks on to bring it together. And then, not worrying about the shiner status on it. We don't need it to be a perfect 100-point car. It needs to be functional, fun, and of course it has a bed so it can haul its own supplies on Rocky Mountain Race Week, because that's where it's going back to. So since the last time you guys saw this thing, it has developed its own roll cage. Our friends at Moore Race Chassis have put together an OBS kit. I said, man, these things are really getting popular. You guys probably should build your own cage kit. I said, one thing I wanted to do is be tucked up and as unobtrusive as possible when you're in it. Of course, on a truck certification, unless you're doing like a 6.0 cert, you have to have the bars coming back through the rear window. But we wanted it simple, clean, and 850 cert, because I think, like anything else, it gets out of control and gets real fast, real quick, especially by the time we put all our minds together on it. So as you can see, this thing has very much been had a long life of dirty back roads and stuff like that, but it's really not in bad shape at all, other than a few tears and a few spots of rust, but that's not going to stop us from building it. So this thing had a V6 with a major head gasket issue. So probably one of our first orders of business is to get this thing pushed off the lift and pull this thing out. As you can see, we've started to do some development parts. TBM Brakes released a master cylinder kit for this thing, and that is in full preparation for 2x4 suspension. That is in full preparation for a brake kit, which is missing right here, which we'll need to install before we push this thing backwards. Again, some more parts. We got a Motion Raceworks wing. There's a lot of guys making these things go really fast, and if you look right here, we'll even have a parachute mount for them because there are some 150 plus mile an hour guys with these things out there in the world. I'll show you some more of this cage because it's absolutely beautiful. Fits so nice. They did a really good job with it. But what I will say is having these factory style seats is very comfortable. So we're gonna have to maybe cut some 5-point harnesses through them, but they're staying. This thing, just sitting in it reminds me of my childhood, and I'm sure that's probably why the OBS platform is so popular. Nostalgia brings out the best of everything. Really cool how they did the frame here. Put the outriggers down from the cage and stuff like that, and the frame bar runs along here into there, the other outrigger, and up there. What do you think, Herm?
Real nice, Clark. Real nice.
You ready to do some C-notch frame stuff?
Over here making Play-Doh snakes, man.
Play-Doh snakes. So we're gonna have to zip this rear end out of here. Luckily, this thing is so clean underneath and not rusty. Didn't you say like all the bolts were just coming out with no effort?
They came loose.
Yeah, thank God for
Any Midwest truck like that, you can spend 4 days trying to get them bolts out.
And a gas axe.
Yep.
Would be heavily used. So we're gonna get this rear end out. We already have the new rear end up in the bed. This is our storage container. And we're gonna go down the street and get a C-notch kit from our friends at Tin Works Fabrication. The bald reel headers are pretty nice, so we're looking at doing some headers. We might have to take these wooden 2x4s out before we start welding, but
Or wooden shocks.
Wooden shocks, that's what I mean. Of course, wooden 2x4. We were just talking about the quality of the headers. They got to be nicer than the Bald Regal. They just need to be nice. They'll be nice. They'll be nice. Eric's on the job. Got to get all this old V6. You know, it's missing 2 cylinders, so we need to get rid of it. It's actually probably missing about 3 or 4 cylinders.
Yeah, put it all firing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, when it drove in here, it sounded a little sad. These control arms are super nice. We're going to have to throw some paint on those units. Or not. Let it patina match the rest of the frame. I don't know.
Right.
And I doubt we'll use that transmission.
What's wrong with that one?
Well, you can take it home if you'd like. All right, guys. So luckily, right down that way is our building. And this is Tin Works Fabrication. If you haven't seen them, they build a lot of cool like C10 and truck stuff. And they have a shop right down the street from us. Taylor's actually the owner.
Hi.
I interrupted them just to make one small sale for C-notch, but you guys have C-notches and suspension for all kinds like square body and C10.
Yeah, anything from 1960 to 1998, we just do Chevy trucks only. So suspension, engine swap stuff, chassis related. So.
Yeah, and you're right down the street from us.
Yep.
And it's all made here in DeWitt, Iowa.
Yeah, we cut, form, weld, ship everything out of our facility here. So.
Can we take a look at it?
Yeah.
We form everything here. We've got a CNC press brake. Alex here, and he bends everything. Cuts everything out on our table here. Metal will come in the front, get cut it with saw. Use the sander with puts a nice grain finish on everything, and then they come over here and they form it up either through welders or through vacuum.
Cool.
Everything comes from out, comes into our weld booth. We got like these nice fixture tables, so everything's flat. We have fixtures for all of our parts that get bolted to the tables. Instead of having a large fixture, we have a bunch of small fixtures. These guys will come in, they'll weld everything, tack it, then they'll send it off to the shipping room.
Cool.
Space to store everything. So. Kind of keep them out of the shop.
Yeah. This thing is so cool. I think I put this on my personal Facebook, Instagram, but this has been a little bit of a project in the making for a while.
Like 6 years of love-hate.
Yeah. It's turned out nice, though.
Yeah, it finally runs.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, I haven't posted the runs yet, but it does run now.
A diesel unit.
Sounds like it's got a cam in it. It's a fully built 12-valve Cummins, but you don't usually see them with cams in it. It sounds so crazy.
Oh, I
with
bet.
a cam in it, it's just chooching along.
There's some guys that race these things now, too, so. This thing will be unique once it's all said and done.
Someday, unless someone wants to buy it first.
Might be for sale. Call Tin Works. So we got our C-notch kit here. Has bump stops if you so choose. All the hardware. And then C-notch. So that's going to go up here and get the clearance for the axle, because the axle is going to go on the other side of the leaf spring with the Caltrax. Lower the truck down so it's not sitting like a dump truck. And give us more proper angularity for all the suspension and shocks and everything else. So this is a pretty crucial piece to making all that happen, and it's nice that they're literally a 2-block drive away from us to be able to pick it up. I was just going over it, so hopefully you brushed up on your welding skills.
It's been a while.
You need cutting tools and welding tools.
Ooh, Jimmy. It's gonna be sweet. Easy peasy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It will be interesting to see if we can do that with the bed still on the vehicle.
What's that?
Be interesting to see if we can still do that with the bed on the vehicle.
I know. Me and Brett were looking at that, we're like,
Looks like it might have to come off.
yeesh.
Maybe we can just unbolt it and prop it up a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
the cage is pretty straight coming out of it, so we might be able to.
Get at least
Unbolt it
enough
with-
to slide it up in there.
Yeah.
Slide up in there and weld it up in there.
Hey, there's only one way to find out.
All right, I suppose it's time to get the rear end out. We ordered this a few months ago from our friends at Quick Performance. They're over in Iowa too. A lot of Iowa companies involved in this build. Herm's working on getting the rear end out, and I'll get this together, and probably need to get some TBM brakes ordered for this unit. So originally I bought this rear end to sit on the bottom of the leaf springs, and then when I bought the Caltrax, I bought the Caltrax to be a flip kit, so the pads for the leaf springs would actually have to sit on the bottom of the rear end. So worst case scenario, we might just add a second set on here and mount it like that. But maybe we'll just leave this thing sitting, you know, nice and high in the air, see how it looks. I don't know. Hey, you know that is a lift. You can actually lift the car up and do that from... You just like doing it the hard way, or
That'd
what?
be too easy.
All right, so I know I'm gonna get this question, so I figure I would just approach it right now. You can see the spindles are on this thing in the front here. Yes, we are making TBM brakes for this thing. So if you haven't been keeping up with TBM, we're known for our drag racing brakes, best in the business. Strongest, best stopping, durable, rotors last forever because of the design, the shape, everything like that. But along with this truck, and then along with Bubba's Nova, if you followed the channel for a while, we're actually getting ready to launch our vented street rotor brakes. So we've been taking some time to get the OBS stuff perfected, and I'll show you a little bit about it right now. So because this unit is going to be a racing vehicle, we have our single thickness vented rotor. This is actually using our 1/2-inch steel rotor, which is just an incredibly strong stopping power option for what you're doing. This 1/2-inch thick rotor will not warp. This thing will offer stopping power you've never seen in drag racing brakes before. We use the same rotor setup on our Silverado, like our newer Silverado kits. So it's tried and true. We also designed a hub, lightweight, no drag hub to go along with this. And then this will use our F3 4-piston caliper. So our concept behind this thing, you'll see it has a hat and everything. We're gonna have, like I said, both race brakes as well as vented rotor brakes. The vented rotor brakes will be released a little bit later this year, but the single thickness brakes like this will be available very, very shortly. So keep an eye out. Of course, this is the first vehicle that's going to have them. That's what drove us to make them. But we know that there's a lot of you guys out there that want something better. These are going to stop better than any of the factory disc brakes. And then the nice thing is lightweight. It's going to reduce rotating mass, which is huge. And you're going to be kind of blown away at their performance on and off the track. Also, can we all just like appreciate how strong this wing is? We have, this thing is with a spindle and brake, and I don't know what it weighs, but just holding it up like a champ. Strutless wing. You can open that tailgate, obviously take that off first, but open it still because there's no struts going anywhere, and it still holds this type of weight, which is kind of crazy. So I know some people are going to ask, what's your goal for the truck? Obviously we have an 850 cage, so we don't have the ability to go faster than it. Kind of the whole premise of the vehicle is, you know, just like I don't want to say farm truck. I feel like it's overused. I don't want to say barn find, but just a working man's truck. We need a name for the truck, so think about that. Drop some comments down below. But what we want is something that's a low 9, high 8 second, all steel, OBS truck that just represents everything about America. You know, maybe even have some like hot dog, put a grill in the back, go to the racetrack, race it. It is going to be really cool. The other thing that's still up in the air right now is what engine combo we need to put in it. I've talked a lot about it lately, but you know, we've done LS, we've done LT, we've done Coyote. Maybe there's something else we should do. I don't know. Should it be like a V6? Should it be like old school? Should it be new school? Should it be supercharged so we don't do a lot of supercharged? I don't know. Maybe you guys can help answer that in the comments down below. But for now, we do know what our whole goal behind the whole thing is. Obviously a Motion Raceworks TBM showcase. Obviously a beat up old pickup truck that you can throw everything in the back and go do drag and drives. And that's just a lot of fun. We're gonna do a lot of burnouts and see what kind of cool truck we can build out of it.